Back in the day, the late, great Gilda Radner played a recurring character on the Weekend Update segment of Saturday Night Live. Miss Emily Litella was a little hard of hearing, so she'd get a little confused about topics in the news. Take a look.
What's all this fuss I keep hearing about violins on television? Now, why don't parents want their children to see violins on television? I say there should be more violins on television and less game shows. It's terrible the way things...
Miss Litella, that was violence on television, not violins. Violence.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yes.
Never mind.
So imagine if Emily Litella were here to comment on yesterday's confirmation hearings as they began for the Attorney General designate. She would no doubt confuse Loretta Lynch with singer Loretta Lynn and wonder why the president would pick someone from the Grand Ole Opry to head the Department of Justice. No. Loretta Lynch is not Loretta Lynn. But she did grow up in the South, and in fact, Ms. Lynch and I share a couple of things in common. We're both North Carolina natives. We both graduated high school within a year of each other, she in '77, me way back in '76, but there the similarities end. Loretta Lynch has an impressive resume, valedictorian of her high school class at Durham High, college and law school at Harvard, and 2 stints as the United States Attorney for Eastern New York, first for President Clinton, then more recently for President Obama. And now she's poised to make history as the first African-American woman to serve as Attorney General of the United States. That alone will probably guarantee her confirmation. Most of the alleged conservatives in the U.S. Senate are terrified of being branded as racist. Thankfully, Senator Jeff Sessions has both the backbone and brain power to dismiss the shrill cacophony of catcalls that the left is poised to unleash. He rightly understands that it is not color that serves as the crucible for these confirmation hearings. Instead, it is the Constitution. That's what makes what we're about to watch so important. Senator Sessions asked Ms. Lynch if an American citizen and an illegal applied for the same job, who should be given preference in the hiring process.
Well, Senator, I believe that the right and the obligation to work is one that's shared by everyone in this country, regardless of how they came here. And certainly if someone is here, regardless of status, I would prefer that they be participating in the workplace than not participating in the workplace.
With all due respect, Ms. Lynch attempted to dazzle the Judiciary Committee with glittering generalities. But what we just heard her say, regardless of status, she would prefer to see people in the workplace, translates in the real world like this. As Attorney General, Loretta Lynch will support President Obama's unconstitutional amnesty down the line. She also said yesterday that the approach she claims to be the current philosophy of the Department of Homeland Security to remove, quote, the most dangerous of the undocumented immigrants among us, end quote, is, quoting again, a reasonable way to marshal limited resources to deal with the problem. Actually, Homeland Security is squandering those limited resources. The AP now reports the administration has ordered immigration agents to ask illegals they encounter if those illegals might, by some chance, qualify under the current executive orders of this president to stay in this country. The AP says, quote, it's akin to having the Internal Revenue Service calling taxpayers to recommend they should have used certain exemptions or deductions, end quote. No, it's really more like having the cops tell a burglar, listen, Mac, if you just tell us you broke in to rearrange the furniture instead of steal it, we'll let you go. This is what passes for Homeland Security in a nation the administration still admits is at war. What we have instead is a war on the Constitution and the rule of law, courtesy of this administration, and Loretta Lynch is poised to use her poise and intellect to further it. No, Loretta Lynch is not Loretta Lynn, but in terms of legal philosophy and temperament, she resembles the current AG. Maybe kinder, maybe gentler, but when all is said and done, Loretta Lynch might as well be named Erica Holder. And sadly, that's no joke. That's just the way I see it. Ahead, it's Hour 3 of America's Forum as we continue here on Newsmax TV, but we'll pause now for this timeout.